Hello and welcome back to another Moogle Treasure Trove video for Final Fantasy XIV. The next Moogle Treasure Trove is set for Tuesday the 15th of October at 8 AM GMT or 1900 AEDT and lasts until the release of patch 7.1, which is supposed to be the middle to start of November. As you can see, there is one new item that we've never seen before, the donut earring shown off here, as well as some returning items from previous Moogle itinerant events, as well as some items that you might have missed as well from other parts of the game. It's a great opportunity to pick up some stuff. The way this works then, just as a brief, basically go to any of the Moogle itinerant NPCs in any of the starting city-states. You'll see a Moogle NPC, you can't miss them. There's one in Limsa, obviously at a lower decks, there's one in Ul'Dan at Aetherite Plaza, and there's also one over in Gridania as well, right next to the main Aetherite there in New Gridania. Essentially, the list gives you options of things you can do. Standard or repeatable, weekly or once per week. Minimog and Ultimog are usually things that you can do once per the event, usually rewarding the most amount of tomes. As you can see from the standard objectives thing, basically doing set objectives, set dungeons will give you tomes, and that's basically how you get the currency, and rinse and repeat. They explain it a little bit further, but it's basically the same as it has been the last time, with a return of a Mogpendium, which is pretty cool to track those rewards, and you go into the Mogpendium once you've done something to claim your tomes. Essentially then, as you can see, these are the rewards. For 100 tomes, we have the brand new donut earring. This is something that's high on my priority list. We only have this image to go off because it's not obtainable in the game elsewhere. It is the first time we've ever seen this. It is very much seen on a couple of NPCs, if I remember, in Solution 9. I forget which exactly, but it is something that was introduced with Dawntrail, and it's cool to finally have this on our characters for 100 tomes. Of course, this is just glamour, if you were wondering. And speaking of glamour, for 50 tomes, so half as much, the Great Serpent of Ringa makes a return from a previous Moogle itinerant event. So if you've been waiting for this one to come back, perhaps you missed it the last time, you'll be able to pick this up. It's designed to look like the Great Serpent of Ronka on a ring. Very cool stuff. Then we have the Innocent Guiba Trumpet, which is obviously from Innocence Extreme originally, for 50 tomes. Very cool looking derp dragon. Great one to add to your collection. Innocence isn't too difficult to unsynchronize though, especially since the level cap's now 100. We can go back and very easily do that if you're wondering, so you might be better off saving your tomes for other things. We also have Alter Roite as well. The Danger Noodle for 50, which is a cool mount. But again, very easy to unsync that and go with a couple of friends and get this without spending any tomes. But if you'd rather, it will cost you 50. The Hades Barding is a cool one if you don't want to craft anything from the items from Hades Extreme. That's 50 tomes. It's a cool looking barding. You could do a lot worse than that one for sure. Very cool. Then we have Modern Aesthetics Early to Rise, which is that really cool with that little ribbon on one of the bangs, like the plait, for 50 tomes. Looking really cool. It's got some nice highlight options on there as well, as you can see on my character. My girlfriend uses this one all the time. It's just a really nice hairstyle. If you haven't got this one yet, definitely a good place to pick it up. Then we've got Twice Stricken Orchestrion Roll. This is for 50. This is actually from Eden's Verse Fulmination, so if you're not interested in doing that particular raid tier of Eden, A, you're missing out, but B, you can get it from either the market board or here for 50 tomes, and presumably you'll be able to sell this on the market board. Currently the market price for this on my server is around 500 to 600k, so it's probably going to crash that market immensely. So yeah, bear that in mind. You might want to sell these if you have them already, or if you're going to be wanting to get this Orchestrion, wait out until you can get it cheap on the market board from other people trying to flip a profit from their 50 tomes. Next up we have the two emotes. First one is for 50, the Ballroom Etiquette Dark Entreaty. This is the Malevolence emote, which is really cool. I love this emote. It's a persistent emote. You can do Malevolence, wait for somebody to go AFK, like one of your friends, and use the malevolence behind them, wait for their reaction when they come back. It's great. Absolutely great. Then we also have the 30 tomes, the Ideal Gossip Ballroom Etiquette emote, which is the scheme. This is also another persistent where you're talking out loud. Your eyes are kind of like squinting slightly, like you're scheming something. Very cool. Really cool for RP and, of course, for video making. Next up, we have for 30 tomes the Casual Attire Coffer. This is a full coffer of 3 pieces of gear: the casual jacket, casual half slops, and casual boots. They're all single dye items. They look pretty good dyed, but you'll get all 3 of those items in the coffer for 30 tomes. If you don't have this yet, it might be a good idea to see if people sell this on the market board cheaply when this comes out, because it will crash the market on the Casual Attire Coffer because it's accessible by only 30 tomes. Additionally, we've got the towels, originally from PvP Wolfmarks, for 30 tomes. These are a dyeable stack of towels, which is a nice housing item if you're after towels for your tabletop needs. Then we have the MGP Platinum card, which I feel a lot of people will be banking up on. For 30 tomes, you get 50,000 MGP. Of course, you can just stack these into your inventory if you've got nothing else to spend your tomes on. And then when something comes in the future for the Mandeville Gold Saucer, you can redeem them and yeah, get whatever you want. I'm currently capped, but it's always nice to have a reserve so that if I do spend something, I just use one of these cards to replenish what I spent. 30 tomes, pretty good option. Next, we've got some tribal mounts. We've got the Drake Horn, the 30. This is, of course, the Cavalry Drake from A Realm Reborn. Looking pretty cool. It also has a Spitfire emote as well, which is pretty nice. Quite a nice one from the Brotherhood of Ash. Then we have a Laurel Gobu Horn, which has an action to sneeze on whoever you want, which is pretty gross. Again, from another A Realm Reborn Society quest. Was it Social Society quest? I don't know what it's called now. Allied Society quest, that's it, for 30. Then we have 2 dog mounts from Stormblood Extremes. We've got the Luna Kamoi, which is pretty cool. Obviously from Tsukiyomi originally on Extreme for 30 tomes. Really cool purple and black doggy. Then we have the Euphonious Kamoi fight for 30 as well, originally from Suzaku. Again, those fights aren't particularly difficult, but if you don't want to do them, 30 tomes is pretty good to finish off your doggy collection. Then we've got some housing items. We've got a Cocoon Shelf, which is a table item with shelves that you can place items on. It's single dyeable, obviously, designed in a cocoon motif, and yeah, it's pretty cute for 20 tomes. Then we got the Mog Bureau, which is also a carpenter craft for 20. This is another table item designed with a Moogle theme. There's also bat wings on the back, which I think a lot of people don't notice. Very cool. I love that item. Then outside, we've got the Glade Gazebo, which is for 20 tomes. It's a massive gazebo, kind of like a bandstand, single dyeable. You can dye the roof. Looks really cool, actually. Really, really cool. If you want to do some outdoor events, I'd get one of those. Then the Garden Tool Shelf will cost you 20 as well. This is another outdoor item. It's okay. It's kind of a full shelf, though. I would have preferred it having some gaps so you could place some items on it or whatever. It's got plant pots and spades and milk jugs. It's all right, I guess, for making that kind of garden environment theme. Then back inside quickly, we've got the Heavenly Ornamental Array, which is an alchemy recipe. For 20 tomes, you get the wall-mounted array. These are really cool. I love these. I love the way they dye. It's a star and moon, like mobile, essentially. I've clipped these into the roof here. As you can see, it looks really nice. They dingle-dangled, offering a little bit of light. Very nice. For 15 tomes, we've now got the Wind-Up Amalja minion, which is pretty cool. If you've not got this one before, 15 tomes, pretty good option, I suppose. Yeah, not bad. Then we have specifically helm and legs of the Shisui sets. None of the rest of the gear, just helm, chest, legs, chest, legs, chest, legs for fending, maiming, striking, scouting, aiming, casting and healing. So all of them, just the chest and the legs, which look like this. They're 15 tomes each, so if you just wanted a chest piece, you could do that. They're pretty cool. The Shisui of the Violet Tides isn't particularly difficult to go and unrestrict, even solo, at any of the level caps above level 70, so you shouldn't have an issue getting that. But if you wanted to just pick up a few and you've got some spare tomes, they are really nice sets, really nice pieces of gear. And they work beautifully as glamour. They also show up on the Fashion Report game quite often as well, weirdly enough. Then we've got 3 treasure maps for 15 tomes each. These are all level cap gated. So we've got the level 70 8-player map, we've got the level 80 8-player map, and we've got the level 90 8-player map. So these are guaranteed to have portals appear for those specific level brackets. So obviously we've got Stormblood and so on and so forth. So if there are some achievements you still need to get, like Deep Canal Raider, that kind of stuff, this is a great opportunity to pick up guaranteed portals, because, you know, obviously guaranteed portals is better than you having like a very low chance of a portal spawning from a normal version of the map. 15 tomes apiece, great opportunity to finish off some achievements and maybe get some of the items. There are glamour, minions, mounts, all sorts of things from treasure map dungeons. Brilliant opportunity to go back and get some of those if you missed them, or to make profit on the market board. That is another top tip. Then we've got ourselves some riding maps. Riding maps affect your ground mounted speed, not flying speed. We did a video a long time ago testing this. So for 10 each, we've got the Curthus Western Highlands riding map, Dravanian Forelands and Hinterlands. We've got the Fringes, Peaks and Locks. All of them are 10 each. Again, unless you're walking around with your mount on the floor, you're not going to notice this, and it does not affect your flight speed, only ground mounted speed. So bear that in mind, which is pretty cool. If you're going into an expansion, you'll notice it when you're on, like, you know, the SDS Fenrir goes faster than the other mounts. Well, this brings them up to the same speed. But yeah, basically. Then we've got some triple triad cards, 2 of which are for 10 each. We've got the Bandersnatch and Crawler card, which obviously aren't too bad. Nice to add to your collection if you miss those. Then we've got 2 for 7 tomes each. We've got Tsukiyomi and Hades, which are a little bit better, honestly, better cards. And then we've got the 2P card from the Nier series. The Nier series of raids, the cards, obviously you're rolling against other people. This might be a good use of 7 tomes, especially if you're working towards various achievements for your triple triad card stuff or your card mount. It would be cool to pick this one up for certain. Highly recommend if you don't have the 2P card to get it this way. We've got 2 minions. We've got the Wind-Up Numo for 7, which is absolutely adorable. Obviously designed off the Numo from our game, but originally I remember seeing these for my first time in Final Fantasy XII. Like dog-eared characters. Amazing. Absolutely adorable. Then we've got the Armadillo Bowler, which is an armadillo rolling around on a mound of dirt, which is obviously a reference from a dungeon, and where basically you avoid the balls of dirt. Very cool stuff. 7 tomes, great to add to your collection if you never picked this one up. Then we've got probably one of my favorite pieces of music in a game for the Orchestrum for 7, which is the 777 Whiskers theme, which sounds like this. I mean, how can you not smile and dance around a little bit listening to that? Then for 5 tomes, you get 5 Curial Roots. If you don't know what these are, the EXP increases earned by your Chocobo Companion. It's an EXP item for that. 5 for 5, essentially. And then finally, we get 10 Fireworks, which are the Magic Prism Job Mastery, which is the stars that appear for 1 tome, so 1 for 10. Top tip from this then, the 2P card, definitely something to pick up because it's harder to get. Minions are always cool. The Time-Worn maps are going to be a source of gil for anybody who wants to make some. Quickly though, because things will crash. But you could also go do these maps, get all of the materials for like the crafting recipes for the glamour, for example, then sit on those and wait until the Moogle event is over and then try to resell them. So this is an investment perhaps. The Shisui set's nice, but you can go and get it yourself. Housing items are okay. Some of the mounts, if you don't want to do the tribal quests themselves, the Allied Society quests, you can go and just purchase them for 30 tomes. Actually, not a bad option. And obviously, my top tip would be the Great Serpent of Ringa, if you don't have it, because it's adorable. And definitely the donut earring, which is something I'm going to be doing. Anyway, hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much. Let me know in the comment section what you're going to go for, if this interests you, what you would have liked to have seen on here. Personally, I think it's time we started to see some of the previous expansion items get added to this and bring it up to date, honestly. Some of the mounts on here, like the Camoys, be cool if we got, you know, some more Guibas, perhaps harder to get Guibas, and maybe even some Lynxes. That would be cool. But anyway, let me know. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.